Guys, I want to try to go through pretty quick here how to set up sales tax. I've seen quite a few people asking the question. Um, so I want to kind of go through here real quick. For starters, you need a sales tax ID number or a tax reseller certificate or a certificate of exemption, however you want to call it, depending on what state you're in. But you do need to have that tax number before you can collect taxes on Amazon. Um, but basically what you do, I'm in Seller Central here. You go into settings to where it says tax settings. Um, and they've recently kind of revised this and made it the tax manager page. And it's given you three different places to go here. This tax methodology is basically Amazon's all their terms and how everything works, and um, basically just all the finer details of it. To be honest, I've never read all of it. I've kind of browsed through it and picked up on a couple spots that needed to be. I would advise you probably should read through it just so you know what's going on. The other page is the master product tax codes. Each item that you list should have a code. And if you go through here, this will tell you what all the different codes are. Now, typically, if you don't do anything, this right here is what is the default. So if you don't, set anything up, don't designate anything, nothing that you're selling will get taxed. That's the default formula there. You have an option of setting a different default on the next page. But basically these here, if you click on here, it will give you a kind of description of what that category is for. Religious books, what kind of products are typically included. Bibles, hymn books, prayer books, what kinds are typically excluded. Audio products containing religious sermons. Then if you scroll down, you see every state, and it has a legend here depending on what state you're in as to whether the item is taxable in that state. You see different codes here. If you scroll down further, there's a legend here that tells you what the codes are, along with footnotes. But this is all kind of preset. If I'm understanding it right, with a third party, Amazon uses a third party. I think they call it a Vertex or something. But basically, it has all this information for all the different states. So once you click on one of these items, or once you set one of your listings up and categorize it under one of these items, and there's all kind of things: general clothing, bathing suits, collectible coins, athletic shoes, candy, general food. I know in Florida food is exempt. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but different places. Again, in Florida, the religious books were exempt. But all you need to do is choose this, and the third party will let Amazon know that. They'll know when to collect. Um, but basically, to set up your taxes, you want to go to the next page. I just wanted to show you that real quick. You go to the next page, and it kind of gives you some descriptions here. But here is where you can set up, use a default product tax code. You can use whatever of these you want. Ideally, you'd want to use either this one or this one. Depending on how thorough you are, their default is probably the best, as long as you go in and enter a specific code for each item. Now I'll tell you real quick, I've actually set mine to this, to where everything is taxed, because I list a lot of stuff using the seller app, and that does not give you the option to list one of those. So I have to actually go back and change it, and I don't always get to that point. So I list it this way. I'd rather collect tax where I'm not supposed to than not collect it where I'm supposed to. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's the way it is. You don't have to do anything here. If you leave it default, like I said, if you leave it blank, it'll just automatically not charge tax on anything. Now here, whatever state you're in, now again I'm in Florida, so I put that in there. I put my tax number. I shouldn't have that. Basically, I'm clicking. It's telling me here if I want this state and this county. If I want them to collect tax based on the state and the county. Again, that third-party system tells them, because in Florida, again, they have the counties have surtaxes on some of them. So sometimes different counties have different sales tax. Then you go out here and you collect taxable for shipping and handling or non-taxable, and then gift wrapped if it's taxable or non-taxable. And again, that's going to vary depending on your state. So that's really as easy as it is. You go to whatever state you're in, you click on, at least state. Your county has different tax rates. You can click on the county. If they don't, then it's easy. Just click on the state. Now you also have an option to use a custom rate. Basically, that's all you're doing is going through whatever state you're in. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but if you're going to charge tax in all the places where you have nexus or where you think you need to charge sales tax, then you just continue clicking whatever states you want to charge tax in. But that's a whole different animal there. When you're done, you're going to acknowledge, and then you're going to review your changes. It shows you what you collected or what you set up. Just double check what you set up and hit continue. I've reviewed the tax methodology. I've reviewed the tax codes. I reviewed and accept my tax calculation settings. Now you can go back in here and change this 3 times a day if you like. I mean, it's not the end of the world. If you find out you did something wrong or you think you might have done something wrong, you can go back and change it again. It's not the end of the world. What I did want to show you, though, real quick, is where you set those up. Now, if you're adding your products on Seller Central, so we want to add this crock pot. Nope, didn't want to do that. We want to add this crock pot. You click Sell Yours. And under Advanced View here, you click on there, and it gives you some additional items to fill in right here, product tax code. If you click in this box, you either go through here and find what it is, if it's in here. Now what I've got there was a kitchen appliance, or cooking utensil, which I'm not seeing here in this list. Ideally, you probably want to try to get an idea of what's on this list so you don't have to keep going through it every time. But basically, if you don't see your specific item category, you go here to AGen Tax. That's kind of the default. If you don't know for sure, put the AGen Tax. It'll charge the tax as required for the state. Again, based on your setting that you set before. Then it's just that easy. You click Save and Finish when you're done filling everything out. And that's it. But like I said, if you're using the Seller Central app, you can't do this on the app. So you have to actually come back in to your inventory and go over to Edit. Click on that. And it will take you into that same screen. I don't know how it works with Inventory Lab or any of those other listing programs, so you're kind of on your own for that one. But basically, I think that kind of covers setting up your sales tax. If you have any questions, just ask below in the comments, and we'll try to get you an answer. Thank you.